share. You tear the tall argumentative.
They were country's golden idols until addiction tore everything apart. Tammy Wynette's hospital secrets, Graham Parsons' bizarre desert funeral, and George Jones's drunken lawnmower ride. This is 25 worst junkies in country history. Who fell hardest from fame? The ending will shock you. Number 25, Kris Stapleton. Kris Stapleton's gravel-soaked voice could resurrect ghosts.
This love is feeling kind of dangerous.
Yet few knew how much whiskey he drank trying to quiet his own. Before the world saw him collect Grammys, he was a Nashville songwriter drowning in exhaustion and bourbon. He once said, "The Bible makes a man sing lower, but live shorter." On tour, crew members recalled nights when he'd empty a fifth before walking on stage. His voice somehow sharper, his eyes fuller. Released in 2015, he had learned restraint the hard way. He took long breaks from alcohol, admitting he wanted to remember what clarity feels like. That clarity became his trademark sound. Honest, raw, unfiltered pain turned into melody. His balance saved his career. But the next man in this story inherited chaos itself and fought every day not to become his father's ghost. Number 22, Shooter Jennings. Shooter Jennings was born backstage. Waylon's guitar hum was his lullaby.
When I wake up, I'll see your face smiling over.
Jesse Coulter's voice was his alarm clock. Fame and danger came as a package deal. In his teens, he watched the old Nashville guard snort lines like communion wafers. It was normal, he once said. Music and mayhem lived in the same house. By his 20s, cocaine became an accessory. He flirted with it during sessions and after shows, but never let it own him. "I saw what it did to my dad," he told Rolling Stone, "and I didn't want to be that headline." Instead, Shooter turned addiction into art, writing with raw precision about temptation and loss.
It's the truth. No matter how far down you are, you can always get back up. You know what I mean? No matter where you're at in life, there's always hope and there's always a future.
Unlike many, he escaped the family curse through self-awareness and grit. Yet, for the next artist, addiction wasn't inherited. It was prescribed, disguised as healing. Number 23, Dwight Yoakam. Dwight Yoakam looked invincible in his rhinestone jacket and perfect hat tilt, but years of sleepless tours and punishing schedules left him in constant pain. He began with back medication, a doctor's note, nothing illegal, but slowly dependency replaced relief. Vicodin for pain, Ambien for rest, Xanax for calm. Insiders whispered that during his this time era in the 1990s, he could barely function without pills. He didn't spiral publicly, he deteriorated quietly. A friend once said, Dwight's problem wasn't excess, it was loneliness. By the 2000s, he detoxed privately, switching pills for treadmill miles and kale smoothies. He emerged leaner, focused, and grateful. He escaped prescription hell before it swallowed him whole. The next man, though, when grief hit, he reached for a bottle that promised peace but poured poison instead. Number 22, Gary Allan.
Today, he told her that he loved her, put a ring around her finger.
Gary Allan's story begins with tragedy. In 2004, his wife Angela committed suicide in their Tennessee home. He found her, and nothing was ever the same. Fans remember the album Tough All Over as his masterpiece, but every note came from a bottle. Bandmates recalled him bringing whiskey on stage like a security blanket. He stopped eating, barely slept, and wrote lyrics that sounded like confessions more than songs. "Whiskey don't calm my mind," he told an interviewer. "It just quiets the noise." Rehab invitations came and went, but Gary resisted until his voice began to fail. Slowly, through songwriting and therapy, he climbed back. His redemption proved survival isn't clean, it's earned. The next story, however, shows that sometimes sunshine hides the darkest tempers. Number 21, Billy Currington.
Wasn't born for digging deep holes.
Billy Currington had everything: the tan, the smile, and the hits. Behind the beach country image, though, was a man drinking to control a storm inside. He grew up poor and angry in Georgia, later admitting that booze made me mean, but I didn't stop soon enough. In 2013, that storm exploded. He was arrested after threatening a boat captain while drunk, smashing property and shouting nonsense. The mugshot made national headlines. Country's laid-back heartthrob suddenly looked broken. The court sent him to anger management and probation. For months, he disappeared from public life, trading bar lights for the quiet of Tybee Island. When he returned with Don't It, he sounded sober, humbled, and older. But what comes next? The next name turned trauma itself into addiction, a woman whose sorrow became a slow chemical war. Number 20, Shelby Lynne. Shelby Lynne grew up fast, too fast. At 17, her father killed her mother, then himself. The trauma followed her like a shadow she could never outrun. Fame came later, but the pain never left. She started drinking to sleep, then to perform, then just to feel something. Friends said she kept whiskey in coffee cups during sessions. When I Am Shelby Lynne won a Grammy in 2001, she celebrated alone. The more she sang about love, the more she drowned in loneliness. She eventually got help, quietly, no drama, just a woman deciding she'd had enough ghosts for a lifetime. But the next name didn't find that calm. His wild nights became family legend, and that nearly destroyed the name Williams forever. Number 19, Hank Williams III.
When tears come down like falling rain.
Hank III came out of the gate like fire. His bloodline carried rebellion. His grandfather died at 29. His father almost followed. He played country by day and punk metal by night, rolling joints backstage while crowds screamed his name. He bragged about mixing cocaine and moonshine before shows, saying it kept the crowd honest. Nashville hated it. Fans loved it. His record label tried to clean him up, but Hank wasn't built for filters. For years, his tours felt like traveling parties, whiskey, pills, chaos, repeat. He survived, but barely. Eventually, he quit the hard stuff, trading addiction for independence. Yet the next voice on this list didn't find escape through freedom. He found it through total collapse. Number 18, Jamey Johnson.
Well, I have seen my last tomorrow.
Jamey Johnson doesn't talk much, but his silence says plenty. After that lonesome song made him a star, the spotlight hit too hard. Alcohol crept in quietly, first a drink to relax, then to forget. Soon friends said he was drunk before sound check. He once missed an award show entirely, showing up hours late, glassy-eyed. After 2010, he vanished from radio for years. Fans thought he quit music. In truth, he was fighting for himself. Later, he revealed he suffered a head injury that worsened his depression and drinking. He's clean now, working at his own pace. His voice carries that weight. But the next man, he drank harder, crashed louder, and nearly died twice before learning to stand again. Number 17, Kris Kristofferson.
Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head. It didn't hurt.
Kris Kristofferson was a Rhodes Scholar who wrote like a poet and drank like a drifter. In the 1970s, whiskey was his fuel. He once said he'd go through half a bottle before breakfast if the muse was kind. By 1974, he was passing out backstage, forgetting lyrics mid-performance. Friends intervened, but Kris laughed it off, until doctors told him his liver couldn't take another tour. He quit cold turkey, choosing writing over ruin. His comeback came with The Highwaymen, where he stood beside Johnny Cash, both survivors of the same poison. Kris turned his demons into discipline, yet the next name never found that balance. His fight with addiction kept replaying like a song stuck on repeat. Number 16, Trace Adkins. Trace Adkins looked unbreakable. 6'6", voice like thunder, but alcohol humbled him again and again.
Hustler shooting late ball, throwing darts at the wall, feeling damn near 10 feet tall. Here she comes.
In 2001, he crashed his truck into a tree drunk, almost dying. Rehab followed, then came another relapse, another hospital, another apology. He once said, "I'm proof you can survive stupidity." But survival took work. His wife even shot him once during a drunken argument in the 1990s. He lived, she claimed, self-defense. Years later, he nearly lost everything again before entering rehab in 2014. Trace still sings about strength because he earned it the hard way. His story leaves one question hanging. What happens when the addiction starts before the fame and ends with a legacy written in blood, pills, and heartbreak? Number 15, Billy Joe Shaver.
Don't let the darkness take 'em. Don't make 'em feel for a second. Just lead 'em safely.
Billy Joe Shaver wrote songs tougher than barbed wire. He mixed pills with whiskey and called it cowboy medicine. For years he played shows barely standing, mumbling prayers between sets. Friends said his pockets rattled from painkillers instead of coins. He lost a finger in a sawmill, a wife to divorce, and a son to heroin. Every tragedy pushed him deeper into the bottle. Yet somehow he kept writing. Old five and dimers like me came out of that haze. In later years, faith pulled him out. He quit drinking, saying God gave me one more verse. He survived his sins, but the next legend made addiction look almost harmless, until the taxman and the joint caught up. Number 14, Willie Nelson.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good.
Willie Nelson's drug of choice was never secret. While others hid their habits, he lit his on the White House roof. Weed became his religion and his rebellion. He claimed it kept him peaceful, while Nashville judged from afar. But Willie's story isn't just mellow clouds. In 1990, the IRS hit him with a $16.7 million tax bill. He called the album The IRS Tapes, Who Will Buy My Memories, and paid it off one song at a time. He once smoked pot on the roof of the Carter White House, another time with Snoop Dogg in Amsterdam. He turned vice into identity, never crashing. The next man, though, he couldn't balance the buzz. His flights ended darker than his songs. Number 13, John Denver.
You fill up my senses like a night in a forest.
John Denver looked wholesome, but his smile hit a slow collapse. By the mid-1980s, alcohol ruled him. He crashed his Porsche into a tree while drunk, was arrested twice and banned from flying temporarily. The irony? Flying was his greatest joy. He tried rehab, but loneliness always found him. After his divorce, he admitted drinking alone just to feel less empty. His 1997 plane crash ended it all, and some say the FAA had previously grounded him for those small demons. His life, full of songs about freedom, ended trapped by addiction and steel. His tragedy left fans stunned. But the next woman on this list, well, she looked perfect on stage while her veins begged for mercy. Number 12, Tammy Wynette.
Sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
Tammy Wynette's voice sounded like heartbreak because it came from one. Chronic pain from surgeries led to painkillers, sometimes 30 a day. Doctors called her a walking pharmacy. Her housekeeper once said bottles covered every table like trophies. She was hospitalized over 50 times, often unconscious from the mix of Demerol and Valium. Yet she'd rise, fix her hair, and sing "Stand By Your Man." Behind the glamour, she fought infections, kidney damage, and loneliness. Her death in 1998 revealed years of dependency hidden by fame. Tammy's fall was quiet, but devastating, and right behind her, a teenage firebrand was already burning her own youth in the powder of the 1980s. Number 11, Tanya Tucker. Tanya Tucker was barely 13 when she hit number 1.
Some odd years ago, a young man came to Memphis, asking about a rose that you...
Fame came before adulthood, and drugs came soon after. By 18, she was partying with Glen Campbell, snorting cocaine off studio boards and sleeping only when the lights went out. Producers said she'd miss morning sessions, but record flawless vocals at 2 a.m., still wired. Her 1982 rehab stint lasted weeks, not months. She relapsed, then bounced back. In the 1990s, she sobered up for real, calling it growing up the long way. Her comeback made headlines, but her scars ran deep. And next comes a man whose rebellion made hers look mild, a convict turned poet who sang his way out of hell. Number 10, Merle Haggard.
Sing me back home before I die.
Merle Haggard's story started in a prison cell. He served time in San Quentin for robbery before music saved him. On release, fame hit fast, and so did the Temptations. Alcohol became his way of sleeping. Pills followed to wake up. He once said touring felt like a bar fight that never stopped. By the 1970s, he'd lost 2 marriages and countless nights to the bottle. Friends claimed he could drink a fifth of whiskey before a show, but Merle's voice refused to quit him. In time, he found faith, slowed down, and rebuilt what he'd broken. His redemption was real, but the next man would spiral much faster, and his fall came with blinding lights and broken glass. Number 9, Glen Campbell.
I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the...
Glen Campbell's smile sold millions of records, but cocaine nearly took everything. In the late 1970s, his daily habit cost him more than $2,000 a week. He'd disappear from shows, vanish from friends, and reappear hours later, wired and trembling. His stormy relationship with Tanya Tucker only fueled the chaos. Fights, arrests, broken furniture, tabloids couldn't keep up. "We were a mess," Glen later said, "but it was one hell of a ride." By the 1980s, he hit rock bottom and entered rehab. Clean and humble, he rebuilt his life with gospel music and golf.
I gave you time to change my mind. I'd find a way, and I'd leave the past behind.
He found peace in the end. The next name, though, never looked for peace. He looked for chaos and called it art. Number 8, David Allan Coe. David Allan Coe lived like a dare. He spent years in reform schools and even prison before country music found him. Fame didn't calm him, it fed him. He used heroin on the road, snorted lines off guitar cases, and bragged about it in songs. Once, he crashed a motorcycle high and nearly lost his leg. Another time, he pulled a gun on a promoter who refused to pay him. He called himself the original outlaw, and he meant it. Nashville banned him more than once for his behavior and lyrics. He somehow lived through it all, still performing past 70. But the next man didn't only inherit a legacy of addiction, he nearly died keeping it alive. Number 7, Hank Williams Jr.
Over the hill, that's one place I won't go.
Hank Jr. grew up chasing a ghost, his father's shadow. He started drinking in his teens, then painkillers joined after a near-fatal fall from a Montana mountain. In 1975, his skull shattered, face rebuilt with over 40 surgeries. He turned to whiskey for courage and pills for sleep. He said pain medicine made the world quiet, but that quiet turned cruel. Friends recalled him blacking out mid-performance, waking up in hotel rooms surrounded by empty bottles. Eventually, he quit the pills but kept the whiskey, saying it was safer company. His voice stayed strong, but the battle never really ended. And what comes next is a man who lost it all, freedom, career, and health, before clawing back from the edge of death. Number 6, Steve Earle.
Hey, pretty baby, are you ready for me? Yeah, you good rockin' daddy down from Tennessee.
Steve Earle once called himself a junkie with a guitar. By 1994, he was deep in heroin and cocaine, skipping shows, selling guitars to dealers. His label dropped him. His friends gave up. He was arrested for possession, spent time in jail, and weighed less than 130 pounds. Then came the turnaround. He cleaned up in prison, wrote again, and released Train A-Comin', a comeback so raw it hurt to hear. Fans said it sounded like a man who lived every word. Steve later became an advocate for recovery, helping other artists face their own darkness. His story ended in light, but the next name, he turned addiction into legend and nearly didn't make it back. Number 5, George Jones. George Jones didn't just drink, he disappeared. For years, promoters sold tickets and prayed he'd show up. He earned the nickname No Show Jones after missing more than 50 concerts in 1 year. His addiction started with whiskey, then cocaine joined in the 1970s. He once drove a lawnmower 8 miles to buy liquor after his wife hid the car keys. At his worst, he was bankrupt, living on bologna sandwiches and hearing voices he blamed on cocaine ghosts. In 1984, he finally sobered up for good after nearly dying in a car wreck. His comeback was a miracle, but the next man on this list would go through a darker hell and spent $1,500 a day doing it. Number 4, Waylon Jennings. Waylon Jennings was the outlaw every outlaw feared. During his peak, he was blowing through $1,500 a day on cocaine. His heart raced so fast, he slept standing up to avoid heart failure. He kept bricks of cocaine in guitar cases, lost 40 pounds in months, and once said, "I had so much money and so little sense." Jessie Coulter, his wife, begged him to stop. He finally quit cold turkey in 1984 after a terrifying night of chest pains.
Take back the weed, take back the cocaine, baby. Take back the pill.
Waylon came back strong, drug-free and alive, but barely. His story shows what survival costs. The next name didn't get that chance. His overdose became one of country's most shocking deaths. Number 3, Graham Parsons.
Woke up this morning, I was feeling quite weird. Had flies in my beard.
Graham Parsons was country's cosmic angel, half rock, half rebel. But heroin and morphine were stronger than fame. In 1973, he checked into Joshua Tree Inn, shot up, and never woke up. He was 26 years old. Friends said he'd been using daily, chasing painkillers with tequila. His heart couldn't take it. Then came the strangest twist. His friend Phil Kaufman stole his body, drove into the desert, and set it on fire, honoring Graham's wish to go out blazing. His death shook both country and rock scenes. Parsons' dream of cosmic American music lived on, but so did his ghost. And the next man's ghost? He still haunts every honky-tonk in America. Number 2, Hank Williams Sr.
Hey, good looking, what you got cooking?
Hank Williams wrote pain like it was prophecy. By 25, he was a superstar. By 29, he was dead. His back pain from spina bifida led to morphine and whiskey, too much of both. He was fired from the Grand Ole Opry in 1952 for showing up drunk. His final days were spent in a Cadillac with a bottle and a syringe. On New Year's Day, 1953, he was found lifeless in the back seat, still clutching a guitar case. He left behind 35 singles and an untouchable legacy. But there was one man who took the same road, fought the same demons, and lived to sing about it. Number 1, Johnny Cash.
Well, you wonder why I always dress in black. Why you never...
Johnny Cash started with Dexedrine pills on tour, then moved to amphetamines and barbiturates by the handful. By 1967, he was hallucinating in caves, convinced he saw God and death in the same breath. He once wrecked a truck in the desert while high, nearly burned down a forest, and got arrested 7 times in 1 decade. His weight dropped, his voice cracked, and his marriage crumbled. But June Carter never left. She helped him through detox, and by 1970, he was sober, standing in Folsom Prison, singing to men who'd lost everything. Johnny turned addiction into redemption. His story ends where it began, a man fighting darkness with a song. If these stories blew your mind, there's plenty more where that came from. Hit that like button, subscribe for more untold country scandals, and don't miss our next video. It's even darker, wilder, and more unbelievable than 25 Worst Junkies in Country History.